April 27th, 2019. With the first 2 days of the NFL draft now over, Jocquez and his team are finally on the clock. With rounds 4 through 7 beginning, he waits patiently and apprehensive on what's to come. With each name called, he moves further and further away from claiming an NFL team as his home.
I was so nervous. I think you came down there, I was shaking. It's like his dreams are here, he can touch it. This is the day we all waited for.
I thought about the ins and outs, but you anticipate things, but you never really know. So I was very anxious, concerned, more worried, because you never know who has your best interest at heart when it comes to these things.
During the draft, I was just taking notes, and I was watching every single thing, every single detail that was happening at the time. I'm just like waiting on my name to get called, looking at this team who's talking to me saying, this and that, or this other team talking to me saying this and that, and to just say that, like, it really show you that it's a business, like all these people tell you all these things and it all sound good, but it don't matter. It's kind of frustrating, but at the end of the day, like, you got to understand that it's a business and everybody gonna pick and choose and go with what they feel like is their best interest, despite what they may tell you.
Like, I just want to just sleep through it, bro. But you can't. It's like so addicting, bro.
I'm former Detroit Lion and offensive tackle.
For sure.
The moments of anxiousness have now turned to a realization. The 2019 NFL Draft has officially closed. Jocquez has now gone undrafted. He now must turn his focus to becoming a priority free agent in hopes of obtaining a contract, minicamp invite, or an NFL workout.
I was devastated, to be honest. Due to the fact that it's just, you always dream of that, like as a kid, like I think every kid that grow up and they play football, like they all look at that draft and they like, man, like I want to be one of those dudes. I want to be like the first pick. I want to be in the first round. I want to, I want that, and so when it didn't happen for me, I was hurt, I was hurt. And I remember picking up the phone and I'm like, man, like, it's finally happening, And my agent like, you got this offer on the table from this organization and like they gonna take a chance on you. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, so I'm like, let me talk to my dad about it, let me talk to my trainer about it, and then I'm gonna get right back at you. So my dad was asleep right next to me and I like tap him like, Dad, like, I'm going, I'm about to go to this team. He like, okay, cool. I called my trainer, I'm like, you think I should go? He like, yeah. That's cool. I called my agent back. He like, all right, I'm about to make the phone call right now. And all you got is a minicamp invite. And then I was frustrated even more. But I felt like I was being, after, time passed and I really thought about things, I felt like I was just being ungrateful. I still had the opportunity and I still had a chance to go out there and prove myself. And so when I came to that realization, better things opened up for me. So I ended up going to a mini camp my week 1, but I wasn't as appreciative as I should have been. I wouldn't say didn't take full advantage of the opportunity, but my heart wasn't in it due to the fact that I was like, man, like, I felt like they did me wrong and I let my feelings get involved, you know, and that wasn't professional of me. And so when I didn't make that organization and I went to a second mini camp, I came to the realization like you got an opportunity, like you gotta, like all you ever asked for, you know, all you ever prayed for at night was a chance, was opportunity. And when I got one, I had two, but I had another one, you know, after the first one didn't work out, you know, and a lot of people, they don't even get that first one, you know, so I prayed on it and I put my heart back into it and I had faith, and then it was successful and I ended up signing a contract.
I had been texting him and telling him, you know, hey, if you don't get drafted, it's okay. You know, you will get picked up most likely. And, you know, he told me his story about what happened with the first team. And then he gave me a phone call when the Jaguars picked him up. And so when I got the phone call, I thought Jock was going to say, hey, I've been cut or something of that nature. And so my heart had like literally sunk onto my table. And I had like a little tear in my eye because, you know, I know how hard this kid has worked. And he says, but the Jaguars just signed me. And my heart just went, I mean, I literally jumped up from my dinner table and like gave a fist pump because I was like, you know, that's my kid, man. That, you know, we think of him as almost like a nephew or a son. And just to see that, you know, his path took a little skew, but then he got right back into, you know, his dream of playing in the NFL. So he has an opportunity to do that right now. So I was elated when he called me and told me that, you know, the Jaguars picked him up.
I remember he called me and he was like, man, like he hadn't eaten in like 12 hours. And he was like, man, I gotta eat. I'm like losing weight, like blah, 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 all this stuff. Like just, you know, do what you can. I remember I knew he wasn't feeling it in Kansas City. Anyways, he ended up going to Jacksonville and had the prior week experience because of Kansas City. And I knew it was a business trip. He was gonna, you know, take care of business. And I thought he went there, he felt comfortable. And I think we touched base, you know, maybe even every night. And he kind of just brought me back up to speed. And I remember, you know, he gave me a call and he was like, Ross, they're signing me. And I was like, it was great news because the likelihood of a player getting signed at a rookie mini camp who goes undrafted and doesn't sign a free agent deal is highly unlikely. And so he defied the odds. And, you know, to get signed to that 90-man roster really showed that, you know, the work that he put in throughout the pro day process paid off.
So yeah, I pretty much signed with Jacksonville, and I go through rookie minicamp, OTAs, and I'm balling. You know, like I feel like I was balling and making plays. You know, it's you know, like I'm not saying I was perfect out there, but I was trying my best. You know, and yeah, you know, I looked up and, you know, made a couple plays here and there, and I learned a lot, you know, about football on that level. And so pretty much you get that, you're there, like the vets they get to leave 2 weeks before you, after OTAs happen. So you there additional 2 weeks just training. So I got to train, you know, with all the rest of the rookies. You know, it was cool, but at the same time, you kind of want to come home. And then I get home, and you know, it's always great, like when you achieve something like that, you know, and then you get to see your family happy, and your boys, they all excited. They like, oh yeah, like you putting on, you know, and that's real exciting there. And you know, you feel kind of accomplished, like a little bit. You kind of like, it's like a monkey get off your back a little bit. You like, yeah, man, like it's not that I've arrived, but it's like I achieved something, you know, that's like notable. And yeah, I get back there, and I just go in training camp pretty much right before the season start. 2 weeks into training camp. Things aren't, I wouldn't say, how to put this. Things aren't going exactly how I imagined them, you know, like you imagine things to be like A, B, and C, like real perfect, like, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna go in here, like I'm gonna do all this right, like my head gonna be right, like, but it just, it just wasn't that way, you know. Like I had some good days, then I had some okay days, you know, but that's just how ball work, you know, like you gonna get plays made up on you, you know, like you gonna make plays, people gonna make plays. It's the highest level, you know, of football, you know, like, so it works like that sometime. And then, so unfortunately on, I guess Sunday, August 4th, I was released from the Jacksonville Jaguars. That whole process felt like I witnessed my dreams like become a reality and then go into a nightmare, like in a matter of, I'd say like 2 months. You know, I make the team, go through all this, you don't even see it coming, it just kind of like hit you from the side, like bam, like you never think it's you until they come there and they ask you for your playbook and you shake hands with the GM and he go, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but we're releasing you.